You will sleep better than you have ever slept. You've never been this relaxed. Are you ready to change your life? I'm Rusty Diamond, certified hypnotist. You don't need to leave your house. You can stay in your bed. You can stay in your favorite chair. You just need a computer or your phone. You can get a hold of me. Stay at home. I'll make your life better.
Hypnosisisgreat.com.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Yo, man. Boom, it's Rusty. What's up, everyone? It is Thursday, April 4th, 2024. Welcome to the podcast. Now in Pennsylvania, the podcast PA, yeah, from wherever these towns are around me, we can go with intercourse, gap, mounds, fertility, what else? Blue ball, shit, what I can't remember the other ones, but there's some other ones. So yeah, from around there, man. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening here on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network. And if you are listening to this on a podcast somewhere and you want to watch it and you're like, I can watch it too, go on to YouTube or Rumble, type in public access podcast, the public access podcast. If you type in public access podcast, there's some poser bitch. Fuck them. They're doing their thing, but fuck them. Stole my name, sort of. And if you are watching this on Rumble or YouTube and you say, man, I don't want to look at this guy's face, I want to punch him. That's all right. But you're like, damn, dude, I like his content and his guests are fucking awesome. Then you just go and you go anywhere you listen to podcasts, except maybe your hipster one there, dude. There's my stupid joke. Anyway, speaking of stupid joke, it's time for me to not be the one talking, so I don't do stupid jokes over and over for the same show. So there you go. So it's gonna be one of these shows, I think. So it's time for me to bring on my special guest right here and right now. And right here and right now, my special guest is Jukebox Ginger. What is up? How you doing?
Man, I am doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on. It's good to be a guest. I'm always so busy hosting other shows, so I appreciate you having me on.
Dude, yeah, we were saying when I was a guest on News, man, I fucking love it, dude. It's just you just show up and you're like,
Yeah.
at the end, dude, I could just like click off and it's done. Like I'm like, okay, this is it. I don't have to do anything afterwards. I can just stop and
Yeah.
there's nothing and just on to fucking chit chat or whatever it is. What's kind of a weird podcast format you've got to do? Like, have you gone on some podcast and they want you to do something weird? Uh,
I I haven't had a really weird one yet. I mean, most of the guest shows that I've been on are like, "Hey, who are you? What do you do?" And that's kind of cool, you know. And actually, not very many people ask me who I am, so there's that.
who
But
are you? And the deep
yeah.
question will be the next question.
So my name is Jukebox Ginger. That's my host name. I host JG's Lounge Network. We currently have 19 active shows, and
Holy
I
shit.
am the executive producer, director, whatever you want to call it. I run the network. I got a couple admins and stuff, but I have 3 of my own shows, and then I help produce and manage the rest of them.
Dude, I don't know how you fucking do it. 19 is a crazy fucking number, dude.
It's up there, man. It's still
I thought
going.
I thought 3 or 4 was a lot, dude. I think I was at maybe 4 and like 3 running pretty constantly, dude. And
Mm.
that was a lot. 19 is like, what the fuck? Dude, like,
Yeah. I would say 11 of them are pretty consistent, which is still like a ton of shows. But then the
yeah.
rest of them are kind of like, when can we do it, sort of a thing, which is fine. And I'm fine with that.
And yeah, and those ones are what they are, dude. And it's
Uh,
cool. Like, but you got to have them separated. You got to, as the offspring says, man, you got to keep them separated. And you know,
uh,
oh man, dude. Man, someone was talking about the offspring the other day. I forgot who it was. Forgot why they're talking about the offspring or how it got brought up. But it did. Someone started talking about the offspring, and I was like, "Yep, the offspring, man." Yeah, the offspring. Shit, dude.
you ask anybody that was born after 2000, they probably don't even know who they are.
Right. Which is wild. Yeah, I don't know. It one of those things that brings you back, and I don't know. It's just this is my nostalgia podcast. That's a different podcast, different day, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So like, what kind of other podcasts do you have? Like, what are some of the ones you got going?
So my original show was Stardom, like RDUMB. The premise behind the name is, stardom is a rise to fame. And nowadays, the stuff that goes viral is the stupid shit that people post online. So that came up with Stardom. And it's actually kind of speaks for itself. I have guests on and I don't tell them what the topic is until we're live. That way, it's more raw interactions and it's perfect for clips. That one is great. I have In the Lounge, where we have like aspiring artists and people that are climbing up the ladder pretty quick, on to talk about kind of how they got into music and their life before. And then the newest one, Singed Eye Sockets, is a perception podcast where I find like cold case files that haven't been like solved yet. And uh, I have guests on and I present the facts and then we all kind of come up with our own idea of what happened. So nobody's right or wrong.
Well, I mean, someone's right and wrong.
Well, somebody is, just nobody knows who
You
it
just
is.
you just don't know, man. Someone's got to be right or wrong on it, you know.
It usually ends with some sort of conspiracy theory that we all agree on.
Which is probably the right answer anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, like, oh man, I might have something to push your way for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll have to have you on that one. It's a lot. It's actually a lot of fun. It's a little fun. It's funny. It's serious. It's everything, man. It's good.
yeah. Yeah, dude, man, your show was fun, dude. Like I just came on and you're like showing me pictures, just like
Yeah.
random pictures. And it's like, okay. Um
Yeah.
cool, dude. Like, let's fucking talk about this, dude. 'Cause I like this. Just fucking random and like it keeps you going. Cause like with some of these shows, like you can just get into the habit of, yeah, here's my same spiel.
Yeah.
And while it's cool, like I don't know, man, because I don't know, it's hard to sometimes. 'Cause I don't want to give people the same thing, and like
Right.
but I want everyone to have like a tight interview that they can fucking. I think everyone should have that tight interview where it's like, here's what my facts are. If you want to like
Right.
know you want to know the Jukebox Ginger story, you go and you pop on, whatever podcast you were on where you like, I'm sure there's a podcast you were on where you told your story of
Yeah.
sorts, and um you got to have those, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got to have them. But then then you're only more excited when you go on shows and you got fucking showing some crazy AI picture.
Uh,
That was something I wanted to circle back to,
yeah.
because that's what happens.
That's all
So you're
good.
talking about the music. So where are you with AI music? Because in the last week, I've seen some shit that's been fucking amazing. Like what they just
Yeah.
did, what they just went up to from what it was before that to what there is right now with some shit I just saw on TikTok. There's I don't know, man, dude. It's fucking like is cranking out bangers now. Like it was like, dude, this is pretty cool, but it's not quite a banger with everything. But
Yeah.
now it's just like, dude, everything's a fucking banger. Not everything, but like they're hitting it with not a lot of prompts given. And it's
Yeah.
stolen basically, but people that aren't musically and talented, not musically inclined or as talented is kind of a level up kind of a deal. And I don't know where are you with everything. I'm iffy and on the fence of it all.
I am. I think with the AI music, it depends like if the vocals are yours or not. Because I know AI can do like the vocals as well. I think the music's it's good. It's not creative, but it's good. But I think when it comes to like doing the voices, if it's not like organic voice, there's no emotion to it, and you can kind of hear it in the music.
I, it was. I think it's changed. I think
Really?
it's changing over right now. It's
Huh.
very close if it's not. Because I
Okay.
was, yeah, I don't know, dude.
I
I
haven't
don't know,
listened
man.
lately, so I'm not sure.
This last week, I don't even know where I would look on it. It was some TikTok thing that I don't know. But anyway, so dude, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's fucking pretty nuts.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check it
If
out. I mean, I will check it out. Last I listened to AI was probably a couple months ago. I don't really listen to AI music that much.
which is a long time in AI music
Right.
advancement. Um, yeah, like 2 months ago, dude, like it was pretty easy to like throw down a pretty decent track with AI and like but yeah, like the audio always sounded kind of weird, but now it's not, man. It's let me
I was
see.
gonna
Actually,
say, can you play like a little bit?
I think I might be able to. I got there's a site and it'll have some stuff on here. So let me grab this here and
Okay.
be able to share it.
Have you? Let's while you're doing that, have you done any?
Not on this. I've done some with the other one, with some other ones and made some pretty cool shit, I think, but not kind of as cool as this. So let's see what sounds like a okay. Eye of the Tiger Gregorian chant, man. There you go.
Let's
There's fucking what do we
try it.
have
Let's
here?
let's hear it. So this is strictly AI.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That is.
See if I can get to the chorus.
Lose your grip on the dreams of past.
Interesting. I don't know,
Okay,
man. I don't know. I don't know how I
yeah,
feel about that.
man. I wish I could find these ones I found on TikTok that were fucking. So let's see, TikTok Suno. Maybe I can search that here. But I don't know. Yeah,
I don't. I just that was rough. I mean, it sound the quality was there, but I don't know how I feel about it.
yeah. No, I get you, man. And I don't either, man. I can't fucking figure it out, man. I can't figure out what I want and what I would do with it if I was fucking around with it. 'Cause I kept going like, well, I mean, with that kind of opening up, where does that fucking take you?
What genre? You don't know what genre or anything you would do if you were to do AI music?
Um, I've done some AI music and I've done some, but I don't. I don't like fucking vocals in music. That's my
That's
hot
fair.
take.
That's fair.
I don't. I feel it's like when I get a pizza, if I go to get a pizza somewhere new, I will always start out with a slice of cheese because if you the rest is just kind of putting makeup on a pig of if you're just putting shit over it. But like if you have a good base, like then it's all good, man. And it's all in fun and you get in the pit and try to love someone.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a good sauce and a good cheese is really all you need. Anything else? I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love toppings, but
Yeah, me too.
if you have a crappy sauce or a crappy cheese, then the rest of it doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah. So wait, so where are you in the
Kansas
world?
City, Kansas City,
Kansas City, that's right. Okay. And you're on the
Kansas side.
Kansas side. Okay, that's right. Because
Yeah,
yeah, because then I ended up doing that other
yeah, that's life with evolution.
okay. All right. I got you now, man.
One of the other shows on my network.
Yeah, one of the 19, man.
Well, yeah. Hey, it feels good to say it, but it is a lot.
Dude, 19 like yeah, dude, it's just fucking it's so fucking many, dude. Like
Well,
19 is
so what was it? I think last summer, my wife said, "Hey, you're really investing a lot of time into your podcast." Well, and I'm like, "Oh, God, okay." So I took like 2 months off,
what'd you
and
do for those 2 months?
I got some stuff done around the house, spent time with the family, which I still do. But the problem was is that I was trying to crank out episodes to get to 100 episodes on the first podcast.
Because
I don't know why. I just did. I was just trying to get
okay.
content out there, and then I was like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna take a little break. So I took like 2 months off, and I was like, how can I do this to where, because I enjoy it, but I don't have to dedicate that hour of sitting in front of the computer several times a week.
Right.
Um, because besides streaming the shows, I do literally 90% of everything on my phone. Like that's the editing, the distribution. I do all of it on my phone. And
That's out of control,
so I
man.
was like, I want to build a network because I know plenty of people who want to do it. And that way I can still kind of run it behind the scenes and still crank out content and it's still, make clips and all that stuff. And it's been great, man.
And so I mean, so then when did you decide to come back?
When I came up with the business concept of it, JG's Lounge, I mean, I love doing it, man. I don't go out to clubs. I don't go out to, bars or anything like that. I don't go hang out with friends because I don't, I mean, I work so many hours. All I want to do is come home.
Yeah.
So
And
coming,
yeah.
doing this is me going out, man. I love this.
Yeah, it's a lot better going out this way than going out like in
Right.
reality.
If you piss me off, I can just turn off the camera.
Right. Have you had that happen?
No, I'm waiting, man. I'm pretty easy to get along with, though. I mean, you can be pretty far fetched and out there, and I can still at least play into it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I've pissed some people enough off. Pissed some people off enough to have them turn off the thing before.
You have. Well, I
For
mean, this
sure.
is what
Yeah.
episode 556, so I would imagine you've at
Oh,
least had one.
yeah. Well, I think it's been other people's shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you say fuck too much.
I don't know, man. This one guy, he came on, it was called like a 1 minute podcast, and he was trying to punk me, dude. Like this whole time, dude. But uh he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna do like a minute podcast. It's gonna be about like you tell your story in a minute or something. And I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. That sounds like this could be interesting. And he comes on and he's like, I don't know, man. He said something really fucking odd, like like if your dad was butt fucking you and your mom was on the other side, like, would you fucking to get out, would you back up onto your dad or push forward into your mom? And then just like to like, you know, throw off everybody. And I said something then fucking really weird or something to like make it even worse.
Yes.
Because that's what you have to do with that kind of shit. Like, dude was just trying to fucking catch me off guard. I'm like, nope, not me, man. And so I said something, then he fucking eventually just hung up, and that was kind of
Did
The
he
end
ever
of it.
did he publish it?
Nope. Nope. And then, yeah, there was some other one where I fucking pissed someone off. Um, because we had some difference of opinion on something, and
Yeah.
like, I don't know, whatever. And just like, yeah, just stopped it. I forgot who it was and why that was, but
It's a podcast
fuck 'em,
world, man. Come on,
right?
you gotta accept other opinions. Like you don't have to agree with them.
Right. Yeah, I just got so fucking pissed off, just like I'm done. And like, all right, well, I guess it wasn't gonna be probably a good podcast anyway. So
Yeah, it's
um
stupid.
yeah, I had someone recently reach out to me that wanted me to take down a podcast episode, their podcast episode, because of some shit that they said in it. And it was like over a year old. And I'm like, no, like I'll take your name off of it if you really want me to, but I'm not going to take it down. Like I put a lot of fucking time and effort into this,
Right.
like, and I don't want there to be like episode 221 and then there's no episode 222 and then 223. Like where people are going to ask me like, where's this episode? And I'll be like, someone wanted me
Right.
to take it down. So I didn't take it down. I think I made it unlisted on YouTube, but then I left it up
Right.
on the thing. And then she got really pissed off and she ended up calling me some names and then blocked me, or maybe I blocked her or something. I don't know. I was just like, yeah, dude,
I'm there with
I'm
you,
done
man.
with this. Like,
I've had
yeah,
that. I've had one episode on Stardom, and this guy was talking about his friend and something he did when he was younger, and his friend's wife was pissed off about it, and so he reached out to him and said, "Hey, can't believe you said that, blah blah blah." But then that guy reached out to me, and he was more off the wall than the guy that I had on was, and I'm like, dude, like you're clearly crazy anyways, so I just put it back up. I didn't even like, I just like did what you did, unlisted it, and then I was like, nah, I'm putting it back.
yeah, yeah. Like, like you said it, it's out there on the internet, man. Like, unless, like, I don't know, I can't think of a reason why to really take an episode down. Because then I was asking if she wanted to do another episode. And then she's like, well, we'll just record this and put it, as the new one. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't really want to
Yeah.
fucking record with you anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I'm over it, man. Like, that's it. I'm
Yeah.
fucking done, dude. I don't want to fucking, what am I gonna
Yeah.
say? Like, so
We've already kind of got this friction going on right now. The last thing I want to do is do another hour and a half with you.
yeah, right. Yeah, I'm fucking done, dude. Like, fuck off. Like, you know what? You want to have a podcast. Uh, yeah, you want to put some time into it, go for it. But
Right.
I don't know. I probably won't want to be your guest.
Right.
I'd probably say no. I don't say no to a lot of podcast guesting opportunities. There's been very few I have declined, and if I have declined, I can't think of one that I have declined,
are
but
are
I
you
know there have.
are you pretty good at organization? So like, because I know you book yourself on a lot of stuff, and then you book guests several weeks out.
Yeah, I have everything on my phone. I have it all. My Zoom links to my Google Calendar, so I can see kind of what's what. But I don't do. People have Calendly and shit like that, and I don't
I
like it,
tried it.
dude.
It's garbage. I can't.
Yeah.
It's confusing. It's no. I'm
Yep.
with you.
Okay. So I'm not the only one, dude. I was just
No.
like, fuck this, dude. And then I've had people get pissed off at me because my booking thing is too hard to do. Like talking to me, they're like, you don't have a Calendly? I can't just like click on a thing and like get it. I'm like,
Oh,
no,
no.
like I do my booking. Like this is how it's done. And then, but then if people are like that, I'm usually just like, well, fuck it. Like you're probably not going to be the right person for the
Right.
show anyway. It's like I'm just gonna pass. And um, I don't know. Yeah, like I've told a lot of people, especially in this last batch of bookings, that I'm passing on them. It was less before, I think, but I've definitely kind of been able to zone in more on who I think is going to be a quality guest of
Right.
someone that I feel. So I mean, basically the what I want in a guest more than anything is that they can talk for a half hour to an hour
Right.
and that's whatever their thing is fine. And like,
Right.
I probably think it's interesting of some sort.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, that's kind of how my booking goes. But like, if I see someone, and I'm like, I can usually tell who I don't think can talk for a while. I usually have a pretty good feel of that one. And I've been able to back that up with some data that I've acquired, and I've been able to tell who I think can tell, especially when they start texting me.
Yeah, and see, I've had like some C list actors and actors, people who are like getting into that field, and they'll
Yep.
come on, but they have no voice. So like they're just very short responses, or just like stare at you, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah. I'm here to get my name out, but I don't have anything to say. I can't add to any
What do you want me to
conversation.
do with my hands?
Yeah, right. The uh, uh, it's fucking weird, man. Like, I mean, yeah, some people like, yeah, they're fucking great in their element, and
Right,
but it doesn't transfer over to podcast.
right.
And that was something else I needed to find out. And that took a little while because I'm like, dude, I can like you're saying, you get someone that, you know, could be more established in what they're doing and be like, oh, that's, could be a pretty cool episode to be like, yeah, I fucking got that. But then yeah, they come on and you're like, oh shit, okay. You're really good at what you do, but podcasting is not in your wheelhouse. And I hope you know that now. I'm sorry I brought you on,
Have you had
but
any have you had any guests that you found like through Instagram or TikTok and you're like, man, I want to have them on. And then they were just like really off put about coming on your show, but then they came on.
um I feel everyone this come on has been pretty into doing it, and the people that said that they don't want to do it that I've reached out because like, so when was that? It would have been like October, November 2022. When I got back into this show and booking it all the time. Like I went on Instagram and I'm like, who do I want to reach out to? And like there was one person I wanted to reach out to that I spoke of, my friend and I spoke of quite a bit in earlier episodes and really wanted to get him on, but so I messaged him and he fucking messaged me back, which was like, dude, that's fucking cool. I messaged my buddy. I'm like, dude, this guy fucking messaged me back. And he's like, no, dude, I don't like do any public stuff really anymore. And I'm like, you, dude, but he's
Yeah.
like, keep on going, dude. I'm like, that's fucking cool, man. Like
Yeah.
that, like, how crazy would that have been being a kid and being like, dude, you can fucking write someone and they'll like, it's not like
Yeah.
writing to a fan club or something and you get a letter back and, from fan club president's fucking thing, like you get something probably from the person. And, I don't know. But then I had a couple last year that um, I reached out to, and I think who was the other one? Uh, but two of them died. One was Pee Wee
Oh
Herman,
my
and the
God.
other one was somebody else. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess I can take them off the list. But um,
I did a thing where like, sorry, you finish.
no, that's cool. Like, and then yeah, like I reached out to a couple more people and got some responses, and like it was pretty fucking cool, dude. Like just reaching out on Instagram and it's fucking bizarre. It's bizarre that we can do that. Just fucking us people
Yeah.
reach out to like kind of anyone, dude, and they don't need to be fucking following you or
Yeah.
anything. You just reach out to them and like, hey, you want to be on my podcast?
Yeah.
Uh,
I had a wee man from Jackass on.
oh shit,
And
okay.
I reached out to him on Instagram, and like 9 months later, he responded. I'm like, oh shit. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll come on. And then like we actually keep in touch. He's been on twice. But I've had friends like, hey, try to get him on my show. And he's like, dude, and he's respectful about it. But he's like, man, I try to do it every now and then, but yeah, I'm gonna kind of I'll come on yours every now and then, but I don't want to go too far out there. I get it. I get it.
Wait, your friend? You said
No,
you'll.
Wee Man. So I've
Oh,
had people for like, because I do 19 shows. So some
right.
of the other guys are like, hey, try to get Wee Man on. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'll reach out. And he's very respectful about it. But he's like, no, man, I mean, I'm pretty
Yeah.
busy or whatever. I just,
Yeah.
so
And yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's kind of where you have to get to. Like,
yeah.
there. I mean, it's pretty fucking cool though. Like,
And yeah, just a response. Pat
just
Oswalt, comedian Pat Oswalt.
yeah,
He,
yeah,
most people of that like grade typically don't respond, most of them, or they want money.
right.
And
Oh, have you ever done that one yet
no, I
before?
won't pay. I refuse to pay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I'm just having a conversation with you, then just have a conversation with me. I'm not gonna. I get it. Like you worked your ass off to get to a point where you can request money. Cool, good for you. But I'm
yeah.
not paying. But
I
Pat
had
Oswald
someone
was a
on.
yeah.
Oh, go
Well,
ahead.
sorry, Pat Oswald was the first one who was like he actually replied to me and he goes, "I'm sorry, no." I was like, "No, hey, I appreciate you responding. That's cool."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like, cool. Thank you for doing that. Like, taking time, like, rather than just being like, nope, I'm not even gonna fucking
uh-huh.
entertain this shit, man.
Right.
Yeah, I had someone on TikTok. I reached out to someone on TikTok, and they said that they asked for money. They asked for like $250. I'm like, dude, fuck you, man. Like, no, I don't want you that. I can fucking talk to a lot of other people for
Yeah.
$250, man.
If I want to talk to you that much, I'll just talk to your TikToks. I'll just pop them up on my screen and just talk to those.
Right. That's a fucking much better idea, dude. I should just start doing those episodes. What do you think? Like, have it be like, do you remember those? Do you remember when Weird Al had a MTV show and it would be sort of, so it'd be like he'd take interview clips of, celebrities and shit, and then just like he would ask some bizarre question and then put in the response to
Yes.
something else, man. I enjoy watching those kind of things,
Yeah.
dude. It's
I'm
funny, man. Like if you
I'm
can time it
so
right.
yeah, I like to throw so I throw clips from the podcast out, but I gotta say the ones that get the most reactions are my reactions. So like I'll react to videos or I'll react to like some stupid news article or like weird meme that somebody sends me and thinks is funny. I'll like do a little picture of it and then I'll read it and I'll react to it. And they blow up for some reason. I don't get it, man.
I don't either. I don't understand how the algorithm works. I guess you have to make content and put
uh,
content on to get content to go. But if you're reacting, just you know go with what's working, I guess.
yeah.
Double down on it, man. Just fucking react to everything. Just
Right.
I don't know, man. There's been some I don't know, dude, TikTok.
Yeah.
It's so weird with TikTok how many people are so fucking like, dude, I don't want the fucking, Chinese government fucking like, and it's
God.
usually people that are very like fucking it's weird that it's people that are very fucking apparently very open to everybody kind of a thing, but being like on TikTok is like the worst thing. But when Facebook is fucking you 50 times worse,
Oh my God.
and dude, like it's so weird how much people are fucking against TikTok,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's like it's so
YouTube and
stupid.
Facebook are they're all about shadow baiting stuff, man. It's dumb.
Right, right, dude. And TikTok, dude, I get what's going on from the people on the street. I get the news from what's going on and the people out there. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'll get you know, I don't know, if it's stuff that's close to me, like
Mm.
for instance, when last week or whatever, when the bridge got, you
Yeah.
know, knocked down, dude, like I had so much shit about that. Like people from, like because I don't know, Baltimore's still pretty close to here.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, like it just it's good at no, it's like giving the people so much power. And that's probably why like people are afraid of it, because of how fast information can travel and, get so many other viewpoints
Do you
besides
do you have Snapchat by chance?
uh well only to like I mean, dude, now you're calling me out for fucking sending you dick pics, but
Yeah, man.
like,
Yeah.
it,
I'm glad they
yeah,
don't
playing
stick
it
around,
cool,
man. I don't want
playing
everybody to
it
see it.
cool, playing it cool.
I asked because when COVID hit, Snapchat has a location filter or a button on there,
Oh
and
yeah,
you go to the
okay,
world map and you can see where people are posting stuff.
yeah,
And before COVID like really took off over here in Wuhan was kind of center of attention, my wife and I would go on there and you could go to Wuhan and click on it and people were posting like from being quarantined in their apartment, shit that was going on in the streets that the news wasn't talking about.
and that's where the news shit. Like, that's the fucking news right there. That's fucking
Right.
what's up. That's people fucking. Because I mean, dude, like fucking so much of all of fucking the shutdown and stuff was what, like, dude, TikTok was fucking on, like, and
Yeah.
Snapchat, like being able to get these like raw fucking
Right.
videos of people, like what's really happening is, and some people are just able to just like, nah, that's fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah.
why is this stupid? This is what's actually happening in the world. This is like from the horse's mouth, not
Right.
just
That's because,
not
and
just
I think that's why the government's trying to ban it, man. I don't think it's about the fact that it's from China and they can access your stuff. I don't think that they really do.
right.
Um, and if it is, what are they getting out of it besides a bunch of people that are reacting to stupid videos? But
Yeah, posted from Facebook.
right, but the government doesn't like it because they can't control what's being seen. That's
Right.
literally what it is.
Yeah. And so like there's some people fucking pushing around this fucking thing of it's so fucking dumb and fucking, it's, yeah, they're fucking, well, I don't know. Like I
Is
don't
it gonna run your day though when they ban if it does get banned? No, it's not gonna run my day. There's other platforms.
right. And hopefully there'll be another platform that kind of does the same thing
Yeah.
as it, which I assume there would.
Mhm.
And or everyone's gonna swap over to something else, but like I don't know. Yeah, this fucking the instant fucking uh I guess real news. Man, I don't know.
It is real.
Yesterday I
I
was,
mean, it's
yeah,
raw, real news. I mean, it's what's actually happening.
yeah. I was talking to my buddy yesterday. We're talking about old Tom Green stuff. With Tom Green going around putting a piece of poo on the end of his microphone and just
Yes.
walking up to people. And but I mean, like, dude, like, I don't know, those man on the street things are always fucking pretty good, dude. Like,
Yeah.
because it's real. And like, but I mean, now it's like you can just be anywhere, and you don't have to wait for it to be on, to be on public access television,
Right.
probably days later, at least, a
Yeah.
day. But I mean, yeah, now it's just like you can fucking
And
go on about whatever.
you do all your stuff pre-recorded like this?
Do I do what?
Do you do all your shows pre-recorded?
Yes. Yeah, because I thought about doing them live, but then I tried it. Well, I tried it with one of my other shows, which I scrapped the whole show and burned the whole thing to the ground.
Been there.
You have to sometimes with some shit. And man, that went sour. But it's all my content, so
Right, exactly.
I took all the time to do it. So what the fuck can anyone else do? But I don't know. Like I tried doing the live, but I mean, I record it fucking, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. There's not a lot of people that are up then, or else, I record maybe like at 10, which is still
Yeah.
like 7 o'clock West Coast time. There aren't too many people up, so I
I'm
usually
s-
just,
I'm starting to figure out how to, and it's slowly because like I'll have episodes where I'll have 15, 20 people watching, and then I'll have some where nobody watches, and then it'll accrue over time. But
yeah,
I'm starting to figure out that because I've done a lot of research is that when you set up the live feed, you usually, like for me, I use StreamYard. If once the show is set up, you have to go into the actual platforms and then like edit the details so that it can recommend it to people like in the search.
Oh, okay.
which I never do until recently. And it's like,
That's a good thing to find out.
yeah. So like if you go onto YouTube after you created the show, you can go in and like put in certain tags. Like, is it for children? Is it not? And then like hashtags and all that stuff that'll help generate it before it goes live.
Cool. Because I usually do like a scheduled thing now. So
Uh-huh.
it'll drop at a certain time.
Mhm.
Usually later that day. But yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. So what do you do then for YouTube videos to get them to pop off? I don't
The
know.
so I mean, some of them pop off, some of them don't. It depends on the topics. I had one called Backyard Barbecue, and the only reason that I don't know why it took off, but in the Middle East it took off. I got like 1,100 views in like 2 days. I was like, what the hell? And we were
Yeah.
talking about literally getting lost in the woods and being like eaten by like hillbillies in the backwoods. And I
You
don't know
know,
why it took off, but it did.
it's Middle Eastern humor, man. It's That's what
But
they enjoy.
I'm starting to find that like I you gotta put in words that people search. So like is, as, were, when, they. So I'll like put those tags in the actual video description, like how to, stuff that people are actually going to search.
Yeah,
And then I'll put like 3 or 4 categories that relate to the actual show. But really, it's usually default words that people are automatically going to plug in anyways.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been looking to do like I don't know. That's one of those ones that I wish somebody else would fucking take care of. That's why it's good that you do what you do, man, and you're that fucking guy, man, that's out doing it because like I don't fucking know how to do this. I'm trying to do this on my own. It's fucking
Well, I'm
not
also, yeah, I work I work like 60-hour weeks too. So like that's why I said I do everything from my phone, which people are like astonished. But yeah, I will do everything on this thing.
yeah.
This is the only thing that I do on the computer.
Yeah, this is all I do on the computer is this too. Like I I don't know. I don't want to use my computer.
Uh,
Like I don't like it. I like that I have a phone, dude. Like and my phone can do everything else. But
Yeah.
like I guess it I don't know, my phone doesn't have a good camera or microphone. It sounded really shitty. I recorded some of the older episodes and maybe some of the other shit. And it sounded and looked like shit. And
Well, where and
yeah.
how did you do it? Because I've done like I do clips. I've done even like some 6, 7 minute segments with my phone. But where and how did you do it?
Well, I was streaming it. I was doing like I'd go on Instagram Live. I'd do that one for a
Mm.
bit. I guess that was it. And then I don't know. I don't know if I was doing Zoom or not on my phone. I think I just like had a computer. I had it for a while, like man, and then yeah, like it took me so long to get my microphone shit fucking dialed in and it never worked. It got okay. And so like I still have like this fucking thing, dude, but
Yeah.
um man, my buddy told me go on Amazon, $22. Got this, man. Plug it right into my fucking and like I have this shit, man. Like
That's
I have
good
all
too.
this other stuff, but I just have it fucking plugged right into my computer
That's nice.
and that's it. That's all it is. It's just this, man. And it drove me fucking crazy when I did that because I spent, a decent amount of money buying all this other shit. And then I'm just like, well, here's a $22 thing that just replaced it all. Like,
Yeah.
but it's fucking easy. And
Yeah.
like I'm going out this next week and I'm gonna bring it with me, bring my computer and my headphones.
And I've got this Blue Yeti, this
And fucking
mic.
great, dude. It
Oh,
sounds great.
dude. Yeah, no, it's so like you can actually hear almost vibrations in my voice. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It makes it sound like someone's really talking.
Yeah. Yours is
Yeah,
good. Yours is good though.
yeah, yeah, dude. It ain't too bad for $22, man.
Uh,
I'm pretty happy with it. No adjusting anything, just fucking
yeah.
ready to go, man. And I don't know, fuck it. I'll take that, dude.
Can
I'm cool
I
with
know
it.
it's your show, but can I ask you a question and then I'll if you want me to answer mine, I will.
Sure.
Um, first, the name of your show. How'd you come up with it? And your first couple episodes. Like
Ooh,
what was like, hey, I want to get into podcasting. And then how did you start and how were your first couple episodes?
fuck. Okay. So the name I got, and I got a lot of fucking like, dude, that's the stupidest fucking name. Um, but I'm a guy. I used to be on public access TV, and I had been doing public access stuff since I was 16 years old or so. And so it was always kind of a thing. And I was really into, like the Tom Green, or if you want to look up Jim Spag, if you want to go for some really fucked up weird shit, Jim
Okay.
Spag, Spagg.
I'm looking it up
Um, let me
while we're
actually,
talking.
let me
Oh, you
just
do it.
throw
Yeah,
up.
you can pop it up on the
I
screen.
can pop up some Jim Spag right now. Oh my God, dude! Like this shit. So this guy was on in Portland back in the fucking
Is it
90s.
James Spagnola?
Yep, that's the
Uh,
guy. Dude, crazy as shit, man.
just
Let's
looking
see.
at the thumbnails to these videos, it looks pretty crazy.
Yeah, and they kind of are, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Let's see. Show opening.
And does this relate to why you got into podcasting?
Kind of, kind of. All right, let me get this going here.
Warning! The following program contains material which may be objectionable to some viewers or inappropriate for viewing by children. Pity the show! This show is for constituents of
Hold on.
radical
I guess
yowza
it's just-
bowza wow.
That's all it is.
let me get into where. Let me see if I can get into something.
Are they just like
different
skits? Is that all it is?
here. A lot of skits. Like but he got in trouble for pooping. He got in trouble for fucking pooping on the there's a fucking
Let's get into the intro, okay?
Across
the land, the spotted owl
this guy was fucking wild.
Native Americans are vanishing as well.
Just
The way to bring them back, a full out.
fucking weird shit. So he
Yeah.
used to like go up to, he would put naked stuff on TV all the time. That was kind of his deal. Like he'd go to like nudist beaches and fucking do shit, talk about buff diving a lot. And he would put his fucking home telephone number on the show. So like while he's doing all this weird shit, you got the people that call in, it was like, I don't know. I want to say it was like Friday night or something at like, pretty late at night. People call in and, say the weirdest shit because you gotta. And so I was always like pretty into public access. So like when I was in high school, like my friends and I used to make videos, and we go into the public access studio and edit shit together. And
Right.
part of the thing was you have to go and put it on the air if you use it. So, or if you like use their studio. So we do
Right.
that. And then, yeah. And then I had another YouTube show that I used to put on public access. And then I put wrestling on public access. And so like public access was like always kind of a thing, like, yeah, this is cool, man. And so when I was, let's see. So yeah, it would have been like 2013. I was living on right off of what used to be Asylum Avenue. Later got changed to Hawthorne Boulevard. They decided that Asylum Avenue was not a good name, and that they would just take the name of the guy who ran the asylum and name it that street name.
Just much
and
better.
Yeah, and it is in Southeast Portland, Oregon, and so I was in this room that was like a sunroom for a kid who had polio. So I'd call it the polio parlor. And like I could smoke in there and shit, like smoke cigarettes because it had all these windows and shit. So I'd have people come up. And so I had like a desktop computer and like I had a microphone because this was a little bit after, maybe like a year after I got into comedy. And so I started bringing like comedians and wrestlers over to my place and we record in there. And like everyone had to bring a microphone because I only had one. So like
Right.
bring your own microphone and plug it in and to my I think I had to buy a splitter. It was like also that's another thing, like how easy it is to get audio equipment now as compared to what it was when I was making music like 2008 to 2010.
Right.
Holy fuck, dude. Like, man, I Fry's Electronics would have some stuff.
Uh,
Radio Shack would have a little maybe sometimes, but some of those connectors were pretty hard to get. And then Amazon came along, and now you can get fucking connector to anything.
what's Radio Shack? Just kidding.
Yeah, right. Yeah, dude. I would have these things that were literally this long, like 5 connectors in a row to get from because it was my buddy and I using I don't know, a couple PlayStation 2s, an old DJ mixer to bring it into like either some sort of amp or tape recorder
Right.
type of deal to record onto cassette tape. But so yeah, so then it just started like me doing that, and then it like progressed to I got an iPhone maybe a little bit later, and then I just set an iPhone in the middle of the room, and that was how I recorded up until like probably 2018, and then I stopped for like 3-4 years.
Now you're back
And
at it.
I'm back at it and just fucking going, dude.
Yeah.
What about you, man? That's my short answer to
Um,
very long.
so COVID hit, and I'm a pretty social person. And
Okay.
I actually didn't even really know what a podcast was. I mean, I'd heard of them, but I didn't like know what it was. And I was looking for a band called Time the Valuator. It's a metal band. I mean, I just felt like listening to them. And Time Suck popped up, which is a podcast by comedian Dan Cummins. And I was like, what the hell is this? So I listened. I didn't even know it was a podcast. I just clicked on it and listened. And I was like, this is actually pretty good. Like, so I said, I could do something like this. So I found a recording app on my phone and
Perfect.
what was it? It was Spotify Green Room. Are you familiar with that or have you heard of
Yep.
it?
It's not around anymore though, dude.
No. I found
Yep.
it just from searching on the Google Play Store and I
Yep.
downloaded it and I was like, okay, I can actually invite people here. Okay. So I found just some people from Facebook that I knew and I said, hey, you want to come on my show? It's just audio. And I would just use my phone and I made basically I would make pillow forts and I would hide
Perfect.
it. Yeah. And I'd hide in the pillow forts. Audio wasn't great, but it was still something.
Yeah. And it doesn't need to be great when you first start out, dude. And like if you listen to some old ones, like
Yeah.
it took some adjusting to get
Right.
to where you are today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, dude, like yeah, like that. I think you had on Anchor too. Like there's a thing you could call in and you could
Yeah.
record on there, and then they
Yeah.
combined.
It was okay. I mean, it's
Yeah,
now being where I'm at now, I definitely would not do that. But I mean, it's interesting to start somewhere and hear about it. That's why I was asking.
yeah, no, dude, fucking podcasts were fucking. I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty cool, man. I got into it like I didn't know what a podcast was. Really, I met this woman on the bus, uh, and her and I fucking we clicked right away, man. Cool as shit. And so when we started talking, like I guess I had heard of podcasts, but I didn't know really what it was. And then we started talking, and we said like we both like we're gonna start doing podcast and stand-up comedy together,
Uh-huh.
and we did. Um, But yeah, dude, I didn't know what it was. And then yeah, like she told me she was gonna go on a podcast this over to this guy's house. That this was back in Craigslist day. Like this guy put an ad on Craigslist in Portland, like looking for guests for my new podcast. I just moved from Georgia to Portland and I'm looking for guests. And so I'm like, yeah, she's like, I want you to come over with me to come, watch me be on this podcast and see what it's about. And dude had a really nice fucking studio at his house, dude. It was fucking a cool show. Like he had like 4 pretty nice mics set up and like he was doing it right, man. But like back then, dude, because he was really into like the uh Kevin Smith podcasts back then, and like he was from that era. So like Kevin Smith kind of like got podcasts really fucking cooking. And so like he had a pretty nice setup and I went over there and he's like, so you're gonna be on the podcast? I'm like, okay, I guess. And then I was hooked, dude. I'm like, this is cool. I can just like I don't have to memorize sets. That's dude, I don't know. I don't like stand-up comedy for the most part because I don't like repeating the same. Like in the beginning of the show, like I tell the joke about like, hey, you can find me on fucking uh any podcast thing unless you're some hipster, and then it's like, I don't know, man, I'm probably not there. And I just tell that joke more and more and just gets more and more like I hate fucking telling this joke. So that's why I like podcasts, because I could just like fucking talk about something new every time. And
Mm,
they would come through in my joke telling, dude. And I fucking so like when I was doing this comedy all the time, it got so fucking annoying. And I would see these people doing the same jokes over and over, and I'd hear them doing the same jokes over and over. And it's great for them. But then I do it and I'm like, dude, I've told the joke so many times. It's not even funny to me anymore. And then
right.
it comes through in my shit. And then so eventually I just made it to like, and it's being a booker and hooking me on a show, dude. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I don't know. Like, I could go anywhere. It could just be like 5 minutes me talking to the crowd.
Right.
It could be me maybe telling a joke or two. Probably not though, or me just fucking telling a story. Sometimes it'll hit, sometimes it won't. And so it's, you know, that's why you got podcasts. You can fucking
Right.
talk forever, dude. And like you can you
That's
can
one
just go, dude.
that's one
Yeah.
thing I like about this my stardom like premise is because it's some of the reactions I get from people. It's like they totally forgot about this memory until they saw this picture that I posted or
Right.
whatever. So they're like, I haven't talked about this in 12 years. It's like, okay, sweet. That's what I'm looking for.
Perfect. How are you gonna pull that out otherwise?
Right.
How are you gonna pull that out of them? And like that's content, man. That's what's up. That like I don't know, because it's you can watch a comedy special. I can appreciate people fucking memorizing everything word for word, and but then it's like the same with wrestling. Like you can so like I don't know where you are with wrestling
Yeah.
or like
I mean, I've got
okay.
wrestling buddies, but I don't like I know not really
Okay.
my thing.
So like for instance, like the most like everyone says is like the best match ever is a match between the Macho Man and Ricky Dragon Steamboat from WrestleMania 3 back in '87. And the whole match is everything they do is scripted for there's no room for any improvisation or anything. It's just like a perfect dance. And like while that is great, like what happens any other time, like how do you pivot, like because I've seen people do stuff like that or comedy sets and like they have it set up once something fucking bombs and nobody gives a fuck about it, and
Right.
then they try to go and do stuff that would go on with it, and then there's like everyone's just sort of tuned out then after that. Like that's where you need to pivot and fucking go to something totally different. And
Right.
it's hard. I've seen it in yeah, wrestling and in comedy, and just watching it just fucking
I've had I've got other wrestling comedian friends. But it's funny though. It seems like comedy and wrestling kind of go hand in hand almost. Like a lot
they,
of
they-
them.
they're pretty close, dude. They're Yeah, go ahead.
They always say that, well, not they, but a couple of them have said that it's almost like the perfect carny is a great wrestler.
Absolutely. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. It's
It
like it makes sense, dude. Like you just gotta
does.
know how to fucking work the crowd, man.
Yeah.
Work the marks. Work the fucking marks. Whatever, dude. Shit, man.
Uh,
It's weird. It's a weird fucking thing. But I mean, I was talking to this guy who's a comedian uh a few weeks ago, and he was saying that like the funniest person on earth is he's a wrestler, like it's not like he's funnier than Dave Chappelle, which was an interesting thing, saying that like this guy can connect with kind of anybody. The people who connect with Dave Chappelle, not everybody connects with Dave Chappelle, but this guy was able to do something, just something stupid, kind of like make an ass of himself and be able to like connect with every single kind of person in the world, all at once. And
right.
it's, I don't know, it's a fucking weird art. I didn't mean to interrupt you on that,
No,
but
you're good. Yeah, you're 100% right. And I think that's the other thing. I think for podcasting and having guests on, like we were talking about earlier, it's you either adapt with the guest, or if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. So like you and I, we can sit here and throw fuck or shit out and it's fine. But I've
right.
had guests on and I had to, and I'll be respectful of it, but it's like I'll watch how much it's my show, but I'll still be a little bit more, you know,
Yeah.
held back as far as that goes.
Yeah. So I've had this one happen. I've had someone after the show request to take out the intro music, because so like I record it like
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I don't put it in post. They wanted me to take out the intro music because it said fuck in it, and I was like, no, nope. Like if they would have told me beforehand that they don't want any swearing, like I'm fine with that, and I can I'll stop it before it says motherfucker in there, and I'm fine with that. Like I can respect it,
Uh-huh.
but like wanting me to do it in post, I was just like, no, I'm not
No.
gonna do it. Like I put in X amount of time for each episode. Like I don't want to go back and have to then I have to get on my computer and fucking do all this editing that like probably
Mm.
doesn't take that long, but I don't want to do it,
So,
dude. Like you get it, you're on your phone, like
uh,
you have to fucking hop on the computer and do this bullshit. Fuck that, dude.
yeah,
Fuck that.
exactly. No, I feel like I actually had so I think the hardest. So I found he's a psychic Satanist, and I found him on TikTok. He
Cool.
was doing like one of those group meetings with like some Satanists and some like religious people, and he said something that I don't necessarily agree with it, but I was impressed by his response. And he said somebody asked him like his childhood and his upbringing, and he says, "Well, my dad, he was kind of a rough guy. He's like one day he came home and was pissed off because we didn't go to church, so he drowned my mom, and he drowned my brother, and he drowned my dog." And everyone's like, "Oh my God, that's terrible." He goes, well, "Yeah, that was God. God did that." And I was like, "What?"
That's
So
fucking great.
yeah, so I reached out to him
Uh
and I was like, "Look, man, I get respect your view. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I was like, I respect that. That's I like how he reacted to the question."
yeah.
So, and he was very, very polite. He was held back. His name's Richard Lillard. I'm gonna throw it out there. He's the gentleman psychic. You can find him anywhere. Might as well give him a shout out. And he was kind of held back at first. He's like, "Well, the title of your show is Star Dumb. That already kind of throws me off." And then he's like, I listened to some of the stuff, and I was like, my show is all about just being organic and raw. And I said,
Right.
I will not do anything that's going to make you uncomfortable. But if you don't want to be on, it's fine. The fact that you responded is good enough for me. He's like, no, no, I'll come on. And then once he was on, he was fine, man. He was like, this is not that bad. I'm like, yeah, I know. And he's a good guy, really good guy.
Yeah. And I don't know, because yeah, like I don't know. There's not much harder than having a guest where you get those few words from them, and then you're just looking at the clock and going like, well, like this is too short to end it right now. Like I can go if I can go like another like 5-10 minutes, then
Right.
maybe I can put out like a short episode, but like I can't stop it now. But I'm already at the
Done.
end. Like
Yeah.
you're not giving me anything to fucking play with.
No.
Like I don't know why and it was a great lesson to learn. And
Yeah.
one that I wish someone would have told me, and like if anyone's out there and starting a podcast and you always pick someone that you think can talk
Right.
more than quote unquote credibility from something else.
Uh-huh.
And
Definitely.
yeah, it's a very important thing. It's really fucking hard to just sit there and have someone that just has like one or two
Especially when you
answers.
do shows like we do, like where it's kind of just open for discussion, but
Right.
like you get that dead air and it's just like, okay, why are we just staring at each other? This is we're literally recording right now.
Right. Or I have people that fucking have said, I want you to ask me these questions. Like
Nope.
gave me a fucking list.
I've shut
I'm
that
like, dude,
down.
this yep. I'm like, dude, this you're not right for the show. Like
Nope.
I don't care what it is. Like that's like automatic shutdown. Like
Authors and
yep.
Actors and actresses. I've had both of them do that. And I'm like, no, you
Yep.
ain't coming on.
Yep. And I have to. And usually so the ones that have like the one page like sheet of all their shit on it that they do, like I usually find those ones I'm almost always skipping over. Like if they have this fucking I don't know if I guess I'm putting anybody on blast, but like they have their like, oh, this is fucking so and so, they're fucking uh they do this and this. You can ask them these questions, and I'm like, pass, pass, like you fucking know, like I don't, but I don't, 'cause I don't want to give someone, if they're expecting that, like they're not getting, like go to one of their other podcasts. Like obviously they're doing this on other podcasts. Like why, what would be different about my podcast if I'm asking you the same questions? Like
Right.
I could I can sit there and react to your podcast. I can go and like do what you're doing on TikTok and just be like, hey, here's Rusty watching man, I wonder if people do that, like watch a whole podcast and just, is that a thing? Is that a
I'm
thing
sure you
people
can
are
make it a
doing?
thing.
Yeah, dude, like here's Rusty watching a podcast and reacting. Like maybe that's how you do it. Maybe people's just like a a Joe Rogan podcast or something, sitting
Yeah.
one of those ones that people clip out and watch all the time and just be like
Fucking Joe Rogan.
reacting to it the whole time. Yeah, man. Like, okay, I'm just gonna do that. But yeah, I don't want to fucking, I don't, like, dude, I don't know. I have looked up, like gone on to ChatGPT and be like, hey, like I have so and so coming on. What are 10 questions I can ask them? And then I did that one or two times. I never like asked any of those questions. And I was just like, dude, I don't want to do this. Like, and I don't want to be stopping and like looking at fucking something. And, like I want to have like an actual conversation. Like,
Yeah.
what is it like to experience this person, you know, through my view.
Right. And that's kind of what helps me on my show, is that I just have those things I pop up, because sometimes I'll have like 10 to 12 like little things that I pop up on the screen. Sometimes I'll only get 3 of them because the conversation is just going so well.
Right.
And I think with the one I had you on, I only did like 4 or 5 of them because we were just rolling. It was organic and it was going.
Yeah.
And it's nice because when there is that dead air or the conversation is getting too off track, it's easy to bring it back. It's like, all right, let's do the next one.
Yeah, which is good. And it's not like going to some other fucking weird question. It's like going back to something which has relevance with no relevance, which is an interesting
exactly
dichotomy there. But it works. And it's like, oh, okay, this is bringing it back. It's not just going off onto some other tangent or asking like, oh yeah, so like 10 minutes ago we were talking about this, so let's talk about something sort of like that. Like let's talk about your whatever. And then I don't know, then there's so many questions, like you get the same fucking questions.
Yeah, same questions. I think it's boring.
It's hard. But
It is.
sometimes like I know I'm asking people the same question that I've like been asked, but sometimes like but I usually preface it with like, look, I really want to know, will you tell me this? Like I know you get this a lot and you've answered this question. If you want to
Uh,
answer, you can. If you don't want to, I don't give a fuck. But I'm
uh.
curious, or can you tell me where I can find that answer if you don't want to if you don't want to answer it right now? Just tell me where I can find that answer. I'll go look it up. I don't care. But I'm genuinely curious
Yeah.
about what's going on with that. So
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
who would you say your biggest guest was, or somebody that you reached out to that you really wanted to have on, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll do it," and you're like, "Yes, I booked them."
Uh, I got John Philbin, which was pretty fucking cool. He
Who's he?
was he was in like Tombstone and
Oh yeah, yeah.
North Shore and Point Break
All right.
and stuff like that. But that was a cool one, dude. I reached out to him like when I was reaching out to these other people, and he fucking responded it, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'll fucking do it." And
Yeah.
I had him on like a few months ago, and then I had him on like a year before that. And I figure like once a year, like you were saying with kind of like Wee Man, like
Yeah.
maybe like once a year, just like reach out and be like, "Hey, yeah, you want to come on the show and
Mm.
fucking talk?" But it was cool, man. It was just like same sort of thing, just like here to fucking chat about whatever,
Yeah.
dude. And yeah, I don't know, man. Cool fucking guy, man.
Yeah.
Who knew, man? Like, and
Yeah.
it's weird that you can just reach out and fucking do that, man.
Yeah.
You
I
can,
had Larry Hankin on, and he was interesting because I didn't know who he was until I saw. So somebody was like, "Hey, he's trying to get on shows," so I reached out to him, and he replied, "Do you know who Larry Hankin is?"
Larry Hankin. Not off the top of my head, I'm looking it up.
If anybody's, if you ever watched the show Friends,
Oh, dude, fucking
yeah, Mr.
Carl,
Heckles, yeah, he's also
Carl from Billy Madison.
yes, Larry Hankin. He was Mr. Heckles on Friends too. He was
Okay,
the neighbor across the park, and he was also the junkyard owner on Breaking Bad. He was in Escape from
yeah,
Alcatraz as Clint Eastwood.
yeah. He was in Money Talks with
Uh
Chris
huh.
Tucker and Charlie Sheen.
Dude, I was
Uh,
like, wow, man. He is actually really
cool,
comical booking him because he's like, I don't really know how all this electronics work. Yeah.
awesome.
Good guy though, great guy.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Why not, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. I so on the shit that got scrapped, I did one with Tommy Chong, and
Really?
yeah, yeah, and so like, okay, so the guy I recorded it with, he recorded this one, um, and I don't think I have anything of it. And so then after we parted ways, he clipped me out of all of it and put it on for his
He clipped you out of it. Oh, so you guys butted heads.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Because I took down everything. I took down our whole podcast. I just
Yeah.
burned it to the ground.
Right. That's
Because I
fair.
was just like, fuck it, dude. Like,
So what happened? So first off, how'd you meet the guy? And then why was there a falling out?
ooh, now we're gonna get the fucking the story
Let's
here.
do it,
Here's
man.
the
I mean, this
story,
is your
man.
show. I'm the one, and I'm over here asking all the questions. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay.
So let's see. So uh we ran a nonprofit together and we had the show as well. And I started seeing things that I didn't really like going on with
Fair.
what he was going and doing with the nonprofit,
That's fair.
and then I also started calling him out on a whole bunch of shit that he was doing on the podcast, and he got really pissed off and turned off the fucking thing, and then fucking uh, just sort of ended it right there. And I'm like, okay, well, so I fucking called up like like most of the nonprofit stuff was in my name. So like I fucking called up all the nonprofit things like get me off, like I don't want anything to do with this. I don't know what's gonna happen with it. Like
Yes.
I'm seeing bad stuff going on here. I want my name taken off of all this shit. closed everything down, took like, because I had the website, the fucking the bank account, the you know, like all the paperwork, pretty much
Right.
everything. And so I just took that all and fucking
It's shitty that people are like that, man.
yeah. And I fucking took I took down all the shows that we did, and then so he fucking came after me, like telling me that he's gonna fucking do all this shit. Ended up reaching out to my sister and my mom's nonprofit and saying that he was gonna like get me thrown in jail and sue me and shit. Telling my mom and my sister this.
That's great.
And then yeah, just basically went to like, he's like, yeah, I don't know. So I was just like, you know what, fuck him. Like,
Yeah.
That's it. I'm taking it as a fucking loss, and just get me out of this. Any affiliation with him, like, I don't want it. That's
I
all.
I worked at a this is unpodcast related, but I would say that it kind of plays into the seeing them do things. I worked at a company that's like a franchise here in town called Jose Peppers. I was an AGM there for a few years, a little Tex-Mex place. And I knew the software really well because I was AGM. And then I ended up getting a job at like a more hole in the wall place that was kind of new and upcoming, and they actually paid me more to be the AGM. So I was like, sure, I'll just go there. And I also knew the software, but I was working like 16-hour days because it was the same software that I used at Jose Peppers. And they didn't know that I knew that. So it was a couple, and they were never there except for to do the paychecks. And I would have employees coming to me like, hey, I keep getting gypped on my checks. Hey, I'm missing time on my checks. So I started reaching out to the owners, and then they wouldn't do anything about it. I'm like, I'm the one stuck here getting chewed out, not you guys. And I'm not the one doing it. So I started looking into the accounts. And then when I started calling them out on it, they did not like that. And I'm like, look, you guys are like, I know you're doing it because I see it right here.
Yeah.
And, I started hearing from the employees, like when I wasn't there, that there was a guy coming in scouting out the place, like he was replacing me. So I waited until I got my next check, and I was like, I'm not coming back. I'm not. You guys are so shady, and like honestly, you should get shut down.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you got to do, man. Sometimes you just got to be like, I'm fucking out of here, dude. Like, none of this is worth it, dude. Like, there's no fucking good payoff for this. Like, I'm done, dude. Like, let's just
call what it is.
Yeah. So I lost my fucking shitty recording with Tommy Chong. Like, okay.
How was he? Was he a nice guy at least?
He was a real nice guy, dude. It was like kind of like getting like kind of a master class in fucking comedy and shit for like a half hour. And so I remember what it was that he was talking about, but like the audio was pretty shitty, the video is kind of shitty. And so like it's not a big loss. And like, I don't know, like what would I have done with the episode? Like, I don't fucking know, but like, again, it's not worth it to me to fucking have it. Like, yeah, that's kind of about like where it is with it. Like, I give up fucking Tommy Chong episode for it. So like, okay, what you gonna do, man? Fuck
they
it.
They whoop.
Yeah. So, and you know, it was a show about current events too. And like, dude, I don't fucking follow the news. I don't follow, like, I look at TikTok. I'm like, can we watch TikTok videos and I'll tell you what's really going on? Like, no, we got to fucking do this shit and fucking, and then he like, oh man. And then he wanted to put fucking Trump at the beginning of the fucking show, like saying something. And I'm like, no, dude. And then like, he's like, no, dude, well, I made it as my thing. And then one day I didn't. That's what really fucking pissed him off, because I stopped it before like Trump said the fucking thing at the end of the fucking intro.
Yeah.
And he fucking went livid. They're like, oh, why'd you fucking stop that, man? That's the fucking best. I'm like, oh man, okay, no, I'm fucking, I'm good, man. And yeah, then he got fucking really pissed off. So
see, and I have my In the Lounge podcast is my buddy Rofiki out in Utah. He's my co-host, but we haven't done a show in a while because our schedules just don't line up. So it's like the show's still there. I just do it when I can. But
Yeah.
I hate having a co-host in the sense that I can't just control it. I try to, and nothing against Brophy. He's a great guy and we get along fine, but it's just that I like having the control,
Yeah. But then you're also the one that's producing it. So like you
Right.
can have it. And so like, yeah, it was someone that was not producing the show, trying to
Produce it.
produce it. And I'm like, dude, fuck, you want to do it, man? Fucking be my guest, dude. You can do whatever you want with it. Like here, you do it. You fucking produce the show. I'm like, no. Okay. Well, so then shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, some of the shows I haven't done for a long time, and it's just, I don't know, like with other guests or other co-hosts, like,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I'm sorry, like,
Yeah.
you haven't wanted to do it, so like, I'm not gonna push it. I don't want to like
Yeah.
be forcing someone to do a podcast that they're not super
Right.
into. Like, it's fine. We just won't do a podcast. I'll do mine more, and that's really why this one picked
exactly
up,
what it is.
because like I started doing that other one with the dude, and like then he got all flaky and shit, and I'm just like, he didn't want to do things, and I'm like, well, yeah, I won't get into that, but
Yeah, it's all good.
yeah, but so then I'm like, well, shit, I'm just going to do my podcast, dude. I can fucking go and book who I want to book. I don't have to worry about fucking someone that meshes with both of us. It's just someone who will mesh with me. Like, I don't have to worry about like someone else. Like, if someone else might not like this person or might kind of butt heads, like,
Right.
and like, I had to think about that too. Like, for booking people, it's like, is this going to work out? Like, this person is gonna be like, well, fuck this guy. Like, I don't want to be here. So like, I just started booking my own, and like, I can book who I want to book anytime I
Right.
want to do a podcast, just as long as my fucking co-host or my
Guess. Yeah.
my guest shows up, which sometimes they don't, and
Yeah.
so sometimes I'm cool with it. Depends how they react to it.
Yeah. You mean as
an
far
apology-
as them not showing up?
Yep.
Yeah.
An apology goes a long way with
It
me.
does.
But it's not everything. But it kind of depends how they respond after that. I'm like, hey, you gonna show up for the show? And yeah, like sometimes it's I'll kind of gauge how they respond with it, whether it's like I'll rebook you, or it's just like, nah, we're good. Time's passed. Like I
Right.
I don't need you for my show. Like, it's not worth it. Something's telling me don't do it. Something's
Right.
saying just
And I
don't
think
fucking.
that's another thing for people getting into podcasts is to understand there are going to be no shows.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily you. And actually, some of it's been me. Like I've booked guests, and then I'm a manager where I work, and sometimes they change my schedule. So I'm like, sorry, we're gonna have to reschedule. But I'm really nice about it. I'm really upfront about it.
Yeah, and yeah, I've been in that other side of it. So like I want to be upfront with the people as much as I can, or like it's like, well, I can go to fucking Six Flags in a few days, man. Like I know I have a podcast scheduled, but like I want to go
Six
fucking to the
Flags,
water
man.
park.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like fuck, man. It's like, let me go do that instead. If you want to reschedule, if you don't want to, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll work it if this is all you can do, and we'll record then. But I would like to fucking take the time off. So
Yeah.
I'm taking a hiatus though, from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
You're gonna take a little time off.
Yeah, I'll maybe do a few episodes here and there, but it's not gonna be like 3 to 5 a week.
Yeah.
Like with 5 days booked, maybe do three of them. And
what I would like to do, like, what is your goal with this show? Like, are you expecting to make this a career, or is this just something you do as a hobby?
Both, because there's like I don't know. This is another thing. I have people tell me you got to do one thing, and I'm like, nope. I'm gonna make all this into one thing, and then that's what that is. And so it's part of the goal to keep on doing this. But I'm in the talks with some other people right now. Where we were talking about doing a podcast conference, but then we decided to change it into something different, which is kind of a cooler thing that we're talking about right now. And so we're like in the in the beginning stages of working on some stuff, and it should be cool. But then like I want to be able to do this to, I don't know, I like to be able to fucking, I don't want to do the show by myself because I've done a few episodes like that and it's weird to me. Like, but I like being able to, you know, give people a recording that they can have that's different than their other recordings, that they
Right.
can do whatever. Like my goal is to put everyone else over, give them the rusty diamond rub, whatever the
Right.
fuck that is to anyone. Like I want to make my guests like the best I can make them look. And I mean, that's how it is with wrestling too. Like whoever I wrestle, I don't care how I look, but I want the person I'm wrestling to look the best that I can make them look.
Right.
And I don't know, man. Yeah. So like, I do want to keep doing this show and having this kind of format. Um, whether it evolves to other stuff, I would like to take this live too. That's
Mhm.
why I was kind of thinking of podcast convention. But then I don't know. I don't want to put on a podcast convention. Um, kind of is what it came down to. I don't want to fucking put it on. I'd go to one. Um, and I would like to start doing live recordings, even if it's like if I start doing local shit, even like just with local businesses and just have it at some place. That could be kind of a fun thing too sometime. But I don't know if I'd want to keep it just to local businesses. But
Yeah.
I like the idea of a live podcast. I'm going to a live podcast in August. Um, I'm going this way. It's at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, sweet.
They're doing 2 nights in Madison Square Garden, which is fucking crazy of
That's pretty cool.
podcast.
It'd be nice to be at
Yeah,
that level.
yeah, right, dude. It's fucking unreal. They did 2 nights on New Year's at an arena in Houston, and now I think in May they're doing 2 nights at the LA Forum, and
Mhm.
then in August 2 nights at Madison Square Garden.
That's so
And
cool.
so I was like, dude, because I've been looking for like the last since I moved out to Connecticut. I was looking for a show to go in Madison Square Garden because it's like Madison Square Garden's the fucking place, man, to
Right.
go. And there wasn't anything. And then I was at Great Wolf Lodge,
Hey, I'm
tripping
going
my
there in a
balls
week.
off. Are
Like
you?
2 weeks. It's like 2 weeks. Yeah, my daughter's birthday.
Okay. Are you gonna be tripping balls?
No.
Okay. Well, so yeah. So doing that
Yeah.
and watching this show, and they're like, "Oh, we're doing fucking 2 nights at you
Massive.
know, at Madison Square Garden." I'm like, "Well, because it's only like 2.5 hours from where I live now to go to New York," and so
Mhm.
I'm like, "Fucking book it, like
Yeah, that's sweet, dude.
go into that shit." But I don't know. I think like either one of our shows would be a fucking really fun live podcast, and I hope someone does. There's someone that does a podcast convention, but I think there needs to be kind of more going up. But I don't want to put it on.
Yeah. I hate, dude, that's one. I've hosted events even through work too, not just through here. And you can make a killer event or convention or whatever and you can create it and do all of it, but it's not fun if you can't enjoy it. Like and when you're putting on the stuff and you're the one running the whole thing, like you really
Yeah,
it's work. It's not enjoyment. Like it's when it's a good turnout, it's like cool, but you're not enjoying it.
right. Yeah, you're fucking putting out all kinds of fires throughout the
Uh,
night, and yeah, dude. Like I got burned out on booking shows, like
mm,
doing live shows, and
uh-huh.
yeah, it got tough, man. Man, so I had a show, so I had a comedy show back in Portland, and my friend and I were both wrestlers, and so we would have it was like someone is the winner, and they would get a belt at the end of the night to go, and they would come back in the next show. But like it's not. I had to tell people like, dude, this is not how. Like, if you're not picked to be next week, it's probably not because you didn't win. It's like just it's not real. And I had people get pissed off, and like I had to explain this every time beforehand, and then I'd have to explain it sometimes at the show. Like, why didn't I win? I'm like, dude, because because I don't want to bring you back now because you're a fucking annoying shitbag. And I had someone take a fucking taxi from Portland down to where the show was in Westland, which was probably like a 25 minute ride each way, and wanted me to fucking pay for her taxi after she got to the show. And I'm like, no, fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
you could have taken the bus, you could have gotten a ride with somebody else. There are a lot of people coming from Portland. Most of the comics were from Portland. But she took a fucking taxi on her own and wanted me to fucking pay for it both ways. I'm like, no, fuck off. Fuck
I
off. And
didn't tell
then
you to take a taxi.
yeah, and then she got pissed off when she didn't fucking get the belt to come back to the next show. And it's like, I had the best set. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you had the best set. You're a pain in the ass to work with. And I think I told her that too.
Mm,
And maybe not the most tactful thing for me to do, but I was pretty upset. And
yeah.
definitely not worth her fee to come
Yeah.
out and work the show.
Yeah, I'm trying to get like I said, JG's Lounge. I call it a network because it is. I mean, it's just a bunch of different shows and stuff. But I'm trying to get like an LLC and an actual network going. I've even reached out to a lot of these streaming platforms that do like live cable TV or
Yeah.
whatever, like Roku and all them. And I'm just waiting. Eventually somebody will hook it. But I mean,
Right.
I would love to just have a network for a living, man. I mean, there's so much money in it. Like there really is.
Yeah, and it's fucking doing something that we're doing for free,
Right.
basically, and
Mm.
I mean, not or close to free,
Right.
but it's something that we're enjoying, man. Like just
Hmm.
fucking creating content. I was talking with someone yesterday, and was telling her like, I have like, I guess I have over 550 episodes. Like, I have a lot of fucking content, but I don't want to do anything with it afterwards.
You don't make
I
clips
need
or
someone
nothing.
to market. No, dude, I don't do shit with it. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm like, if I had someone to fucking do that, like, and I can pay them like off of, royalties and shit, getting myself monetized and like put
Yeah.
it out, like I'll give them a percentage. I can do that. I'd be
Mhm.
happy to do that, but like, and she said, yeah, there's a lot of people who are actually looking to do that. So
Mhm.
now maybe I'll start doing that, but it's
And
kind of
my
hard to get people without being like, I'll pay you X
yeah.
amount to do that.
Well, that's what I've told my admins because I told you I was like they pay me right now, but I'm like when this does take off, I'd be more than happy to give you guys, a couple $100 a week or whatever because you get you basically here you book your sponsors and then let's say they give you $5,000 for a month, but you
Right.
get 3 or 4 sponsors, there's 15, 20 grand. And
Yeah.
then, hey, I'll pay you guys each a couple $100 a week or whatever, depending on how much work you guys put in. We'll determine that. And then the shows themselves, if you guys are putting out a show each week, I'll give you guys $100 a week just to put out a show. That's all. But if you're not putting out the stuff, you're not getting anything. That's just the
Right.
way it's gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't just sit back and
Yeah.
collect a paycheck for not putting out
Yeah.
podcasts.
Yeah. So that's kind of where my head is right now. I mean, we've been hovering around 100,000 views for the last like month and a half or so. It's been pretty consistent, 90 to
Cool.
100,000, and it feels great. And it's like, but I want it to stay that way before I reach out to the sponsors because the other side of it is the sponsor is going to say you have to hit this quota or we're dropping you next month
Right.
because it's month to month. So it's like you got to have that consistency. And that's what I'm telling everybody. I was like, just keep putting out stuff and we'll get there. I mean, I think we're there, but I want it to consistently be that way because I don't want to get all excited because we booked one and then like the next month we're back to square one.
Right. Yeah. Like here's some money, and then oh shit,
Yeah.
money fucking dried up. Sorry. And yeah, man, like I don't know. It's a hustle, but it's like something that I enjoy, and it
Yeah,
looks like you enjoy too, man. Like, and
definitely.
it's just go like, and it's a way to connect with people that it's probably better than any other method for us. Like, I mean,
Agreed.
I have a face for radio, so like,
Right.
you know,
I think I got a voice for it. I don't know about a face, but
yeah, yeah, I got a voice for radio and or no, not voice for radio. I have a face for radio and a voice for silent movies, kind of a thing. But I like my content, and
Yeah.
I really like my guests, and I feel like that's what people get. I'm just kind of here to push along the ride, like
Yeah.
just sort of holding the back of the bike without the training wheels and just letting
Right.
everyone go. You lead the way. I'm just sort of here, just like doing my thing. But it's like on Jeopardy, Alex always made it a thing saying that the that he was the host, whereas on Wheel of Fortune, Van and White and Pat Sajak were always like announced as the stars or of the show. But it was he always put it on like that the contestants for the show were always the star of the show. Like
Right.
he's just the host, just doing that, and I always liked that about Alex. Like that was a cool fucking
That's what I
thing.
always tell
Won them
people
over.
too. I'm always like that. This is for you. I'm just here to give you guys exposure. Like I'm here to
Yeah,
help you get exposure. But if you ain't giving me anything to work with, then that's not my fault.
right. And I was like, shit, I fucked up on the booking. Like I got to know better. I got to know how to fucking do this. Like
Right.
fuck. And it's a learning game. I'm a slow learner, but I can once I learn things, I learn how to do things my way, and I can probably do it better than a lot of other people eventually. But I'm just a slow learner otherwise, trying to do it uh the way that the path has
Yeah.
kind of been foraged. Like you do it this way, and
Right.
um it's not my way, and I would lose my mind doing it that way. There's some ways that like they say how you should do a podcast, and it would sound so fucking weird coming from me, and I wouldn't want to listen to me. I wouldn't want to put guests, like I would feel uncomfortable the whole time having a podcast like that. Or if they're dude, so have you seen some of these podcast hosts that are fucking charging money for people to be on the show? Have you gotten part of
I've
that?
seen. I haven't been a part of it, but I do see it. I've seen it on some of the groups on Facebook and stuff like where they charge people to come on. Like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah. Dude, and it's not a little bit of money. It's a fucking pretty good chunk of money to fucking be on each episode. Like
Right.
it's
Can't do it.
wild.
I
And
wouldn't do that.
they're booking them. They're booking them though. I don't
I know.
it's I guess if you say it like, people do it, but I would feel bad fucking being like,
If I could say like, you give me $50, you can come on the show, but I can guarantee you whatever your socials are or whatever are going to start growing because you came on my show. Like that would be like if I could guarantee that, that'd be a
yeah,
different story. But like I don't think I still probably wouldn't even do it then.
yeah. And the people that are having the ones where you have to pay stuff, like I don't see them as like people are fucking tuning into these
Yeah.
shows like more than just for the one episode that they're on. Like it's so
Yeah.
kind of cut and dry. There's no reason to, have continuity. Like I had people calling me, not or messaging me and shit saying that like the thing I get more than anything is people put me on to fucking go to sleep. Um, I I gonna change it to the Benadryl podcast, man. And like
All right,
I get
guys.
that a lot.
Next 3 hours is Rusty Diamond.
Yeah, and like I'm like, okay, if you're listening, that's fine. Maybe you'll fall asleep and leave it on, and I'll get some plays going, and it'll subconsciously get into your mind to want to come check it back more. Because if people are falling asleep with me listening to them, that's fucking great hypnosis, man. Like I'm in their head, dude. They're gonna be fucking coming back.
ASMR is a big thing right now, and I don't know why it is, but it is. And I was like, man, I want to do an ASMR podcast, and like it's literally just whispering, just really quietly whispering into the microphone.
What was that, show number 20? Why not make it, man? Just call it the fucking
I'll just call it Be Quiet.
Yeah. Dude, why I'll be on your Be Quiet show if you have one here. When if you have a Be Quiet show, I will be your first guest, dude, and we will have a Be Quiet episode, dude.
Oh, like, you'd be perfect for it too.
Yeah, dude, let's do that, dude. If you need a 20th show, man, and you need I'll be a co-host if you want. I'll come on anytime you want if you want to do that one.
Do like twice. Just do like twice a month. We'll do like twice a month.
Cool. I'm down with that, dude. It'll be the fucking Be Quiet podcast. I like it, man.
It should be like comical though, like to where we have to try and not laugh or something. But like you gotta follow the ASMR trend, but try and be funny.
I think I could do it, man. I'm pretty good at not laughing. It's probably because I say a lot of stuff that isn't funny, so it's really easy not to laugh when I'm around myself. So I
do have a mute button on here, so I can always just mute the mic.
Like it's really quiet. Like people are like, I gotta turn it up, and then you hit them with something. Oh, dude. Okay, so
I do gotta wrap up soon though. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
It's cool. I got one quick thing. So I used to make music and play these live shows, and we had this one thing, we call it the shocker. It would just play this like lulled like loop over and over, and it's like do 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 do, and then it just goes and just like fucking guts everybody right out of it, and then just goes right into something else. But like just that fucking pattern interrupt to fucking get people like you be very quiet, be quiet, and then boom, and then
the relax
fucking right back. Like I turn it up and like, oh shit, okay, I'm into it now.
That'd be a good intro, actually. It's kind of
man.
The silent build up, boom, and then back to quiet again.
Yeah. Why not, man? That's what it's for. How are people finding you and your 19 podcasts and everything else you're doing?
You go to Linktree. Well, it's Linktree is linktr.ee.
I don't like it.
You don't like Linktree?
I love Linktree. I don't like.
I hate how they do it.
I don't like that. I don't like trying to tell people that.
Yeah, it's hard. If you go to my Facebook page, if you you can look up JG's Lounge. I'm on all social medias. You can look up Jukebox Ginger or JG's Lounge to find me. But I have links to my Linktree on there. It's /JGS_lounge. That's what it is. And then you can find literally everything. All my content's broken down on there with direct links. Everybody's shows. And yeah, I mean, I don't just do the podcast. I do little reaction skits. I do little bits, and I have fun with social media. I hate social media, just so everybody knows. I think it's ridiculous.
Me too.
But
me too. Like
it works.
Where's our AI for social media? Like that's what I want. I want to go and just like be able to put over everyone, like anyone that posts stuff that I'm friends with, like have it liked and shared and shit like all the time. And then that would just be it. And then comment like, good job, buddy. Thanks. Like, because that's what I want to do, but I don't want to go and scroll through fucking social media to find it and do that, because I have a lot of other things I'm doing. I'm a busy fucking guy, man. And even if I'm not, like, I want to do that. Do you have a website?
That is
a domain?
I own a domain. I own JG's Lounge domain. I just haven't paid for a website.
Well, why don't you just go and take JG's Lounge and go and link it to your Linktree, so it just goes right to your Linktree, so you can tell people to go to jgslounge.com and it just goes to your Linktree. Like mine.
How would you do that?
Do you have it through Google or something?
I don't. It's so my co-host. Oh, well, he uses GoDaddy and he had a free domain, so he just gave it to me. So
okay. So if you're on GoDaddy, you can just I think you have to call him up.
Okay.
Why is that not coming up?
So if they put GoDaddy, or like let's say they put in rustydiamond.com, it would take you to the link tree rather than the .com.
Yeah, like if you type in rustydiamond.net, it goes to my link tree.
Oh, okay.
It just redirects directly to my link tree.
I'll do that.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's like whatever, $12 probably.
Yeah.
A year, and
that's not bad.
That way you don't have to tell people go to my link tree. Just tell them go to jgslounge.com and
That's good.
it'll
I
take
like
you
it.
right to your link tree.
Yeah,
And it's like, yeah, it's not just link tree. It's like, yeah, jgslounge.com.
I like it.
So yeah, get the fuck out of here, man. And dude, thanks for being on, man.
Yeah, hell of a show.
Yeah, dude, I fucking like having you on, dude. I'll have you back
Like,
after like September when I'm
back at it.
When I'm
Yeah.
back at it, man. I have like 2 more spots open in May, and then that's it.
Good. Good for you. Take a break, dude.
Yeah, I'm taking a break, man. I need to go fuck on my water slides, dude. So,
All right,
yeah,
man.
cool.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one, buddy.
You too.
All right. All right. Jukebox Ginger, man. Fucking give him a holler. You guys got a fucking hell of an episode there with all kinds of shit, all kinds of wild stuff. So thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There we go. rustydiamond.net. So I'm going to go and send this over to dude. And because, yeah, you got fucking, look, I mean, look at this. Check it out. I'll even open this up here. So look at this, rustydiamond.net. And it goes to linktr.ee/rustydiamond. You can click on all these things. Look, you got all these links. You got fucking Instagram, email, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X. You can get the podcast here, LinkedIn. You can. It doesn't have my phone number. That's my phone number somewhere else. But like that's easy, man. That's like $12 a year. It's not bad. Good investment. Good investment. Thank you everyone for being here. You guys are the best. I'm happy you got to listen to me fucking finally tell that story about that bullshit with the other podcast. So thank you for that. And I hope everyone has a great fucking day and is gonna take off. I don't know. Next week will be interesting. I got WrestleMania weekends this weekend in Philly, so I'm gonna be out that way. I'm going out there tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow's Friday. I'm gonna take Friday, go to the show at the old ECW arena, and then be around for WrestleMania for the weekend, and then yeah, hit the road. So I might be doing some shows from the road this next week. So tune in then, and that is the show, man. Boom.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.